All right, we're on Maasrot, Perek Daled, Mishnah Hey, the fifth Mishnah in the fourth chapter of Maasrot. We're continuing to discuss the issue of kviyot l'maaser. If I want to eat produce out in the field, how much can I eat? How much can I produce? How much can I produce and eat at the same time without having to take off truma of Maasrot? Says the Mishnah, Hamakalev se'orim. If you want to peel barley, I guess you would peel barley off of the plant, off of the stalk, and you wanted to chew on it or whatever. You peel each barley seed one by one, and you can eat it. But if you peeled the barley and placed it in your hand and held on to it, you're going to collect them and then get chew on a bunch of them at the same time, then you're chayav. The Bartanura adds, okay, that is only true if you're not next to the goren, next to the storehouse. But if you're next to the goren, even if you peeled more, patur. Why? And this is something we've seen a number of times. If you pull out a bunch, you peel a bunch of them, okay, we're going to throw back whatever's extra. And anytime we say we're going to throw back whatever's extra, then it's not kovea for Maasrot. And we've seen that a number of times in previous Mishnayot. Molim means to roll in your hand. You have to, when you have a wheat stalk, right? So you got to roll it and you got to sort of thresh it in your hands, and then you're going to sort of separate the seeds from the chaff in your hands. So you're going to sift it. So the Mishnah says, "Minapeh miyad liyad ve'ochel." You can sift it from one hand to the other and eat it. But ve'im nipa v'natan letoch cheko. But if you, so therefore it's one at a time. Therefore it's alright. But if you sifted it, the napot, you filtered it, v'natan letoch cheko, and you put it in your lap, then chayav, because obviously that's kovea for Maasrot. Mishnah continues. Kuzbar is coriander. Shazara, lezera. So if coriander, if you look at the internet, there's like a ton of pictures about coriander. Okay, coriander is used for the plant, and it's also the coriander seeds. And if you want to know how you get coriander seeds, I did a little bit of research on the interwebs. Okay, is that really helpful? No, that's just how good coriander is for you. Okay, and if you do some videos, if you want to look at some videos on coriander, it'll say how to grow coriander, and then how to harvest it. And one thing you realize after searching for enough information about coriander is you see there's stalks. Okay, the stalks were used as a spice. Okay, and there's all the coriander, and the coriander, the stalk is like a garnish in a sense. And then there's the leaves, and then the coriander seeds. If you let the coriander flower, after the flower will come the seeds. And you can use them to plant, or you can use them as spice. And coriander was ground coriander seeds are a very popular spice. So says the Mishnah, Kuzbar shazara lezera, if you planted the coriander for the seeds. Yarka patur. Then the yerek was considered ancillary, and you could eat the yerek, you could eat the stalks and the leaves. Let's go back and find our pictures. Okay, if you grew it for the seeds, then you could eat the coriander leaves, the kuzbara, by the way, which they sell, and it's quite expensive in Israel. You can eat it without, that it's not chayav in Maasrot. But, zarali yarak, if you planted it for the vegetation, for the leaves, then mit aseret zera v'yarak. You have to take off maaser. If you want to eat any of it, even temporarily, for the yarak and the zera, you take off trumot and Maasrot for both of them. Okay, next thing, Rabbi Lezer Omer, hashevet. I looked up shevet. Shevet, it turns out, is dill. Let me see if I can move it over here. Let's see if I can see that picture. Yeah, dill. It's got a flower. Okay, it's got a flower. It's got stalks. It's got a bunch of different things. Okay, 1 second. Let's go back. Because the reason I knew what shevet was, I think I looked it up in the Otzar Chachma. Here we are. And that's a different place. That's the next Mishnah. Okay, shevet is dill. Okay, it's got flowers and it's also got other stuff. Okay, mit aseret, zera, v'yarak, v'zerin. Okay, you take off. It's one of the only things that you take off maaser, both for the seed, for the dill seed, and the yarak, and the vegetation, and the zirin. Zirin, the Kahati says, are the leaves. Okay, the small reeds. Zirin are the small reeds on the dill. Let's see if I can find it again. Okay, you have the zera, the seeds, the yarak, and I don't know exactly what it's talking about. Okay, that's the Bartanura says zmorot, the branches. Okay, nonetheless, so that's what's called. It's anito. Anito is basically, here we are. Let me see if I can find it. It's called anithum graviolens, which is basically shamir, which is what we call dill. So it has it has three parts that they would use. It would use the zerim, the zmarot. Let's go back to the Mishnah. I'm all over the place. Zera and yarak and zerim, the zmarot, the branches. Okay, the plant, the seed, and I guess the yarak, the leaves, and also the stalks. Chachamim say, "Eno mitaser zera v'yarak." The only things that are mitaser, zera and yarak, the only things are shchalim. Okay, shchalim are kris bilaz. Did I find shchalim? Oh, I did find shchalim here. These are shchalim. I'm not exactly sure what they are. Okay, but they're tachlei bal, they're shchalim. And v'hagargir bilvad. Gargir is a kind of mustard. So those are the only things that they would plant, that they would mitaser zera v'yarak. They disagree with Rabbi Lezer, and they say that the dill was not mitaser zera v'yarak of the zerin. I guess it would only be the dill leaves today. That's the only thing according to the Chachamim. Okay, not the eno mitaser zer im zera stam v'lo peresh. Rather, the only thing is the shchalim and the gargir. So you have to remember all this when you want to eat your dill out in the field before taking off Trumot and Maasrot. I mean, for us, it's not very common, but obviously in their times, they knew exactly what these plants were for. They planted them for themselves, and so therefore it's very relevant for them to know all of these specific halachot. We'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, as always, feel free to contact me, arswalter@gmail.com. We'll dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.